Welcome to Influential Entrepreneurs, bringing you interviews with elite business leaders and experts, sharing tips and strategies for elevating your business to the next level. Here's your host, Mike Saunders.
Hello and welcome to this episode of Influential Entrepreneurs. This is Mike Saunders, the Authority Positioning Coach. Today we have with us Scheavosky McGawion, who is a retirement benefits counselor, and we'll be talking about how he serves his clients. Scheavosky, welcome to the program.
Hey, Mike. Good afternoon, sir. Glad to be here.
Yeah, me too. I always love when you have someone that comes at a position of serving their clients, and I see that from your approach and your website. And I want to dive into how you do that and some of the benefits of working with your firm. But get us started first with your story and background. How did you get into the financial services industry?
Yeah, Mike. Funny story. I joined the military around 2001, straight out of high school. Kind of knew I wanted to be in something dealing with finance, but utilized my time in junior ROTC to benefit and go into the military so I could really pay for my education and kind of figure out exactly what I wanted to do. Spent about 12 years on active duty there, and then got out and joined the reserve. But during the time, once I got out left active duty, I kind of, went to a couple of places, grabbed a couple of jobs. But one thing I noticed right when I was getting my paycheck is that there was this thing, there was this amount of money being taken out of my check that was going for insurance. And I was like, insurance? Well, what is that? And later found out that, there's many facets of insurance, but the monies that were being taken out were for the health insurance, dental, stuff like that. So did a little digging and found out that insurance was something that, we all need. My benefit was being in the military. Uncle Sam took care of all that for me. So I never understood the gravity of needing that, because they provide you with the service group life insurance, 400,000 if something happened to you for serving the country, stuff like that. All your medical's taken care of. And so around 2009, I was in Tampa, Florida there, and I decided to go and get my license to get into this thing called insurance, because I had friends who were getting out of the military who also did not understand insurance in any facet. So kind of felt a little obligation to, go out there and understand it and dive deep into it. I kind of learned all the facets, major medical, long-term life insurance, you name it, when it comes to having the life, health, and annuity license. And, just really started trying to teach, people that were looking for this thing, especially my military veterans who were not retiring per se, because obviously if you're retired, you have the certain insurance that Uncle Sam provides you throughout the rest of your life, So, just really felt an obligation to get in there and learn it. I did while earning my bachelor's in business, and then subsequently earning my master's in business, because I really wanted to make sure if I was going to take this thing, full throttle, that I really understood the concepts of coming to my consumers as a legitimate, no kidding business.
What I hear through that is there was a level of confusion you had with the, deductions be taken out and you going, what is this and why is this? And then when you started learning that, it started making you think, if I felt this way, others might feel the same way. And so you then wanted to kind of refocus and serving other people to help them understand those benefits, right?
Yeah, definitely. I come from a humble background. My mother raised two boys. My father passed away when I was 7 years old. Subsequently, for some time there, it was just me and my brother and my mother. Later on, she did, remarry. And up until that point, though, it was just us, and it was just a tight knit family. Mostly, my brother and I we were raised by my grandmother, who instilled into us, service before self, which, if you can believe, is an actual Air Force, core value. So, with that being said, knowing that I was confused in terms of how this whole insurance thing worked, I could imagine the many, many people that just don't know it, and really took it upon myself to say, hey, I want to go out and make sure that people understand what it is that they're, getting into when they buy insurance or look for insurance with different types and all of that.
100%. So then at that point, you're looking at helping people understanding their retirement benefits. What are some of the ways when you connect with someone that you're starting, where do you start first? Because you probably can tell a little bit of your story and go, hey, I was confused at this, this, and this. I want to help you understand it, but maybe they've got their own questions. So where do you find yourself beginning to start laying out that teaching and education for your clients?
Yeah, I try to target the spectrum, but I mainly deal with our seniors. Seniors have a special place in my heart. Again, I said I was raised by my grandmother. God rest her soul. She left us in 2012, and one of the things that when she passed away, she had a whole bunch of life insurance, and she had different retirement accounts that was just left in disarray, and we had to navigate that. And thankfully, I was in the industry, and so anything that we needed to call and say a reference to, I was there because I understood the language, I could speak the lingo, and you can imagine the relief that my family had, being that they had an expert that was related to them, if you will, that could navigate those waters. So I deal with the 50 and older crowd, and where I try to start with them is just really understanding, do they understand what they have? And based on what they have, just answering questions that they have, trying to uncover what it is that they want their life insurance to do, whether if it's a term or universal life or a whole life policy. What do they want their retirement to do? If it's to continue to accumulate cash, or if it's to, live so they can travel the world. I really want to get an understanding of what it is that they want, and then, provided that obviously, just like our phones and technology updates every, 30, 60, 90, 180 days, then I can come in and provide some solutions that, may benefit them and enhance what they already have.
Yeah, and it sounds to me like through you've used servant's heart and servitude several times. So I want to go deeper there, but I think a lot of times when people hear, oh, retirement benefits, and he's going to sell me something, I don't need any more insurance. Talk a little bit about how you take the approach of, let's see where you are. That's the baseline. Here's what you have, and then maybe you're going to say, where do you want to go? Where do you want to be in retirement? So you're almost acting like a life coach. What does retirement mean to you? And let's paint that picture. And then, hey, here's where you are. Here's where you want to be. Let me just show you some options and some paths. So it's that guiding aspect, right?
Definitely the guiding aspect, Mike. And you will not believe how many phone calls I've received after going into a home or visiting with a couple, and just educating them what they have. That it may be 6 months, a year, or sometime later that I get a phone call saying, "Hey, we want you to come by because what you recommended for us before, we want to now employ." When you go into a home, and you're leading with a heart of education, sometimes you find that people are in a great spot, and you would just, ask that potential prospect client that, hey, don't give me a secret. If you know somebody else that needs this type of education and understanding of what they have, spread the word. And again, just really looking at it at that. If I can guide them along the way, and then if I see any pitfalls, for sure, I'm recommending different things, and it's just that, a recommendation, right? But I find that the value of education that I provide for my clientele and the people who interact with me, the education has driven me forward to be able to sustain and now be in the business over 15 years.
Yeah, I think that you laid something out really important there where it's like, let's just see what you have and see if it makes sense. And sometimes you come back to them and say, you are good to go. Let me just tell you, I could sell you something, but you're good to go. And here's why. And here's some things to think about in years to come. But I think that having that assurance gives them peace of mind. And it makes me feel like, too, like a second opinion. Hey, if someone comes to you and says, I think I'm good here because my current person who I haven't talked to in years, by the way, that kind of thing, but take a look and give me that second opinion, that outside perspective. That's a really powerful offering that you're able to provide.
Yes, it is. And again, they are more than happy to understand that, this guy's not just coming in trying to, open up the hood and change out the engine, right? He's actually looking at it, making sure, everything is good, it's intact, make sure my safety nets are in place, make sure that, in the event, God forbid something happens, my family will know, number one, I got a guy I can contact that'll help me walk through the process, right? Because also a part of this business is when that time comes, especially in the life insurance realm, when that time comes, they want to know that you're going to be there, and I do my very best to stay in contact with, the multitude that I have this year. Actually, hiring an assistant because I've tried to, hoard all the comms and everything myself because I really, really take a great sense of pride in doing it the right way. So just brought on a virtual assistant this year to kind of help me keep up with the life events, birthdays, kids graduating college or high school, a bevy of things that would just say, hey, I'm still here if you need me.
Yeah. That's huge. So that actually, you think about serving and servant leadership. What you're describing there is the complete opposite of what most salespeople, and we're using air quotes there, find
Right.
their approach. Because it's like pushy. It's like, buy this, do it now, deadline. You need to do this. And it's almost like shaming someone that they don't have this or that package. So what are some of the other ways that you find that you're able to set yourself apart from other advisors and really focus on that serving the client?
I'm big in the community, really reaching out to some of the local churches in the area, hosting events, just straight up educational type of seminars where people can come out. I do webinars, just trying to find different venues to just educate. Again, you will not, you can probably imagine, all the great men and women you have on your show here that come through, but you will not imagine the level of response I get from people who's like, hey, can you come tell me whether if I'm on the right track or not, and once we find out what their goals are, man, it's a gratifying feat because at the end of the day, they know that they reached out to someone who was looking to educate them first. We can deal with paperwork and everything else later and referrals and all that jazz. I'm a firm believer, in the quote that Zig Ziglar states that if you help enough people get what they want, you always have what you need.
100%. And I love, I'm on your website now, and I love this line that I see. Our agency is committed to our customers' understanding of the products they seek. And I would venture to say that if you could put a hidden camera in clients leaving advisors' offices, all across the country, there's a good percentage of them that walk out scratching their head going, what in the world is this? And what did we get? And I don't understand. If people can understand how meeting their needs of whatever, XYZ, whatever that need is, and how this product or that product will do that. And they don't need to understand all the, 30 pages of, documentation and disclosures, but understand the
Correct.
benefits. That's a gift.
Yes, and it's one that I just have to give credit to, my grandmother, my mother, for just, making sure, obviously the golden rule, right? Do unto others as
Mm-hmm.
you would have them do unto you. And I know if any person sitting across the table from, my grandma or any of my family members that were sitting down and talking insurance with them, it would be my request or almost mandate that they walked away knowing, like you just said, not all the nooks and crannies of what it is that they've acquired, but just to be able to tell their friend, hey, look, man, there's this new Medicare product that's coming out here in 2025. I got a guy, he does Medicare orientations where he walks you through Medicare A, B, C, and D, and it's phenomenal. Hey, call this guy, and so for them to be able to regurgitate and educate their friends, then I've done my job.
Yep. 100%. Well, Scheavosky, it's been so great chatting with you and seeing how you serve your clients. If someone is interested in getting that second opinion or a quick look at their plan, what's the best way they can learn more and reach out and connect with you?
Oh, yeah. You can find me at www.myinsuranceprofessional.com. Again, myinsuranceprofessional.com. You can peruse the website. You can request a free consultation. You can also let me know what it is that you're seeking. My assistant will get that information and we can get you scheduled for appointment. I'm also, my phone number is 478-268-5003. That goes to my office. So to reach out, and you can also find me on Facebook at McGawioninsurancepros.com.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for coming on today. It's been a real pleasure talking with you.
No, I appreciate it, Mike. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
You've been listening to Influential Entrepreneurs with Mike Saunders. To learn more about the resources mentioned on today's show or listen to past episodes, visit www.influentialentrepreneurssradio.com.